Right, so we found a few things out. Just to recap for people wondering where we are. I'm pretty sure you guys were all here at the last stream when we closed out, but just to recap, we found a few things out. We know the murder victim, Elise Dunham, is actually Misty Faye, Maya and Mia's mom. We know that she was killed over at the other side of the bridge at the garden. And somehow the word Maya got written in blood on a little stone lantern there. We know that Maya has been trapped in the cave behind a puzzle lock, which looks like a psyche lock. And then there was one, and then there were 5. Out of nowhere, there were 5 of them. And we don't know who set the other 4. Wasn't Iris, but Iris set the first one. So she obviously went across the bridge at some point. I have some theories, but I guess we'll see how things play out through the course of the thing, of the trial. We've got 3 parts of trial to do. We know as well that Pearl was across there. We found Pearl. She was across the bridge. She'd been staying there all night. And she got a letter from Morgan Fay, which someone else read before she did. She got a letter from her mom when she visited her at jail as a kind of a last request, so she might be up for execution soon. We know Dahlia Hawthorne was executed, and we know that Pearl was asked to channel her. And we know that Iris is Dahlia's twin sister, and they're both Morgan Fay's daughters from their father, Mr. Hawthorne, who married her for political advantage and then divorced her when she didn't become the master of the Fay technique. So, ooh, it's all some good stuff. Can we explain the whole series from the very beginning? You're confused? Sure thing. So, it started when Ace went to college, and, well, actually, no, it started even before that. Ace was a high school kid. And he was accused of stealing none other than Edgeworth's lunch money. No, I'm not actually going to do this. Dahlia was executed, yes, she was. She was executed a month ago, according to the game's timeline. So she was executed in January. And, yeah, Iris knew about her. She knew they were twins. She was left at the temple for some reason when she was a kid. But obviously she knew that that Dahlia was, you know, her sister, and that Morgan was her mother, and then the guy married another household, and Valerie Hawthorne, the cop who was in the last case, who was the victim, she was the mother's sister, so they were stepsisters. When did Pearl Oh, right, Pearl didn't. She didn't channel her. Pearl thinks she's lost her power because she couldn't channel Dahlia. She didn't know what she was doing. She was being taken advantage of by Morgan. She didn't know exactly what was going on. She just wanted to do anything for her mom, bless her, because she's such a pure, innocent thing. But she didn't channel Dahlia. She couldn't. She tried, and she couldn't. Somebody else did it. Now, one of my theories is it's Maya. And Maya has been trapped in the cavern in the inner temple behind a lock that Iris set, and I think Iris locked her in there. But that leaves the potential that Maya killed her mother while channeling Dahlia Hawthorne, which is pretty goddamn awful. Another one I have is that Misty Faye, Elise Dunham, the victim, read Pearl's note. Maya also read Pearl's note. I think they both... This is my wild theory. I think they both read the note. And Maya determined to channel Dahlia Hawthorne and told Iris about this and asked her to lock her in with a puzzle lock so that she can't harm anybody. And she's been like that ever since. But first, Misty beat her to it and channeled her instead. And I think Dahlia Hawthorne killed herself, seppuku style, but she got stabbed in the back, so I don't know if that makes much sense. It's a little weird. Amber, hello! How are you? So, yeah, that's kind of like my theory right now, is that Misty channeled her first and was, you know, killed by her, by Dahlia, and then Maya ended up channeling her immediately afterwards when that link was severed. And she's been stuck in there ever since, and I think we're going to end up having to defend Maya now because she's probably going to be up as the murderer. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, though. It's, yeah, intriguing. Yeah. Okay. So that's code for that's not right. Or maybe it is. Anyway, let's crack on. So Pearl. Oh, hello, Pearl. Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? You ain't saying. Yes. And please, guys, don't. For anyone wondering, don't tell me if I'm wrong or right with my theories. That's both a spoiler territory. Just tell, just do like Freya's done. Just go, intriguing theory. That's how you do it. But yeah, I don't want any answers. If I'm thinking out loud, don't help me unless I ask. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see how this ends. Morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me what's going to happen to Mystic Maya. Yeah, when we left it, they were still trying to get Maya out of the cave. Iris was trying to undo all the locks. But it was going to take her a long time to figure out the other locks, because she didn't set them. So who did? The only other person who could potentially have set those locks was probably Dahlia. Because we know that Bikini was over in the temple when those other 4 locks went on the door. But I wonder if Godot has a role to play in this. I'm still wondering, because whatever happened to him had to be some spirit channeling shit. Modern medicine put his body back together, but spirit channeling put his soul into it or something, and he's piloting his old body around as a spirit. I'm wondering if that's what's going on. Which means he might have some spiritual power. I don't know. You'll get the walkthrough just in case you're really stuck? Okay, thank you. Bruh. That's another one right there, bruh. Like, I have no idea what you mean, but I'm wondering. Somebody else did it, because it's so weird. Godot shows up, and then those locks appear. And Iris wasn't there yet. She was with, what's his name? In fact, we left Godot. I think we left Godot there, didn't we? At the cave entrance. He cleared everyone out. He doesn't want us getting to Maya. Interesting. I wonder what's going on. I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So, is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall? No. She's the defendant in the case, so she can't be at the inner temple now. She's required to be here in court. Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? Because Maya's gonna be the one on trial now. I have to admit it's kinda strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Edgy! Edgeworth. What's Iris doing over there? He's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Told you, they're flipping it round. They've found Maya, and I bet she's channeling Dahlia Hawthorne, which means she's now the suspect after everything else we've figured out. This case has got turned around. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confessional, so I heard. Oh, or maybe not. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to, you little minx? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. Fucking Edgeworth. Or is it going to be Godot? Am I going to be able to bring the coffee counter up? If Maya killed her mother, I'm going to scream. I know, right? That would be horrible. I mean, I doubt it. This can't end with her being guilty of murder, because she would be the one that would go down for it, not Dahlia. You know, so there's going to be a twist, and that's why I think that twist that I've got, that Misty killed herself after channeling Dahlia, and Dahlia stabbed the body with the sword and the cane, and Iris helped try to stage it as a accident / mystical murder with the Amy Faye statue and the shitty Cheeto. And then Maya channeled Dahlia immediately afterwards, not knowing what was going on outside the cave, but trying to stop Pearl. They both did it to stop Pearl from doing it because they knew what this would do. Because somebody or some bodies read that frigging letter. Then who is? Who else would it be? Godot? Godot? Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. Oh. You don't mean that she's... Exactly. He's been out there all night trying to remove the trick locks. Oh! Oh, the head nun's assistants. Right, okay, so she's taken over from Iris. With the head nun's assistants, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken off in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, because like fucking Maya's been down there for nearly 2 days now, in a freezing cold cave in a cold mountain. With no food. Yeah, thanks Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. I'll fight the guy. You don't have to tell me that. Twitch ate the stream during the story recap. Oh no! Yeah, this is weird though. Poor Maya. Touche, I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic manic you were yesterday. Or maniac, whatever. It's strange, on the way here I decided that today would be the end of all of this. You and me both, Phoenix. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger and powering up, going Super Saiyan. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I'll leave the rest in your capable hands. I really don't like this expression he does, where he's got that kind of like, forced smile. It means he's hiding something. Yeah, famous last words. Well, we've only got 3 trial parts to get through and then whatever epilogue the game throws at us. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing the case. Circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Doonin. No, I mean Ms. Misty Fey. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. But here's the thing, I had a thought about this picture, by the way, that I might have noticed. So those guide ropes coming down from the top corner, there aren't any like that on the bridge, obviously. I think this is the bridge as viewed from either above or below. Because those guidelines coming in go out to the side in an X pattern, but there's 2 missing on the other side. Yeah, he saw it from below at the house, didn't he? That's what he sketched. It's not a side-on sketch. Do we have a picture of the bridge? No, we don't, do we? But we do have the courtyard thing. So when you look at that, that's a top-down photo, which means what he saw wasn't necessarily somebody flying above the bridge. They were off to the side. Also, that does look like kind of long hair. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. I don't know how this all puts together. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. Oh god, here she is. And what is that woman, what that woman is really after? I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. I mean, we still don't know if the cane is actually the murder weapon. It had a sword in it, but was it used? We did ask for it to be tested, didn't we? Hey, Udgy's back! Where's my Canadian judge, eh? Court is now... Well, I guess he is as well. They're both Canadian brothers. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of the Hazakura Temple. Godot's here. Your Honor, what are you? Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. Okay. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Oh, is that who they said that we passed the cold on to? We can just change the judge mid-trial. Everything's changed mid-trial. New prosecutor, new defense attorney, new judge. New trial, I think. I'm still sure we're going to be defending Maya. But, I mean, medical-wise, I guess he could stand in. Therefore, I will be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers, that explains a lot. My poor brother. He looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. Oh, there it is. Hey guys. The coffee counter's back. Hell yes. That didn't advance the counter, did it? Oh, don't tell me this is broken. We can't continue until I fix this. Hang on. Oh, it did. It's not showing on my Stream Deck. There's a little icon on the Stream Deck that's supposed to tell me... Huh, okay, well, I guess I'll just have to check across on the preview window. Yeah, I'm seeing the one on the preview, but on the Stream Deck it still shows a 0. That's a bit bad. Oh well. Alright, well, I guess we'll just do that then. It's impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understand exactly what you said, at least a little up until the end anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with and shifting of the tides. There is only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. But then you mean... forget about it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime, but today she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. A confession? The defendant? See, this is weird. She shouldn't be allowed to make any confessions with the prosecutor's office without her defense attorney present. No legal representation. This could be thrown out of court in a real world, but anyway. Iris. Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. When meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. It's got a lot of rules, Godot. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something you want to confess to? Yes, but first I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. I mean, we know she's lying about ever having gone across the bridge. She did. She put that lock there. It's alright, what is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in the terrible incident. You had to have done. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Dunham? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. She was the one that Sister Bikini saw, supposedly stabbing her, but we postulated she could have been pulling the sword out. Zaras! Hey dude, how's it going? So yeah, we think she did that at the very least, and she did bring the body back with the snowmobile. Shocketh! Oh! Really? So she dealt with the cover-up. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. What? Nani? Nani? Order in the court, order! Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Still gets you jail time. Yes, that's correct. Nani? Eek. 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Hey, there he is. Huh. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. Oh god, the thing didn't... Come on, coffee counter. You can do it. Seriously, now it is broken. Hang on, guys. Let me fix this. Ay, ay, ay. We can't go on without our coffee counter. Why is this broken? Is it not pointing to the right file? Not pointing to a file name. Okay. There we go. And it's displaying properly now on my stream deck. Yay. Dun dun dun. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? That Godot. But this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Crumpled up and shoved into her pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone. Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. Whoa, what? This is it. Bikini is also one of the sisters. She seemed to know a lot about the Korean families and their politics and the branches and all that shit. I bet Sister Bikini is also one of the Fae sisters. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself if need be to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Maya. Mystic Maya Fae. Okay, called it. She locked Maya into the cavern to protect her. But whether Maya has been channeling Dahlia Hawthorne is another question entirely. That is another shoe that will probably drop. Huh? Okay, I was waiting for the spit take. Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya? But is she naming her as a potential murderer? Order in the court. So, not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer. I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to protect her. God, this would be awful, wouldn't it? That's ridiculous! The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Now, the question is she going to tell us the truth now? Or is she going to lie to protect someone else? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. The real murderer. I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. That seems highly unlikely. Why would she do that? While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. Which weapon? It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. Is she talking about the staff? So it was in self-defense. Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya would be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. Yeah, but that's the testimony that's clearly crumpled up. And that the person who did go was that woman. Dahlia. Iris even admitted it. Yeah, but she put a lock on the freaking door. So she had to. That was the thing that didn't make sense to me on the last stream. I was like, if she locked the door, then surely she went. She had to have gone. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. I always stab people in the back when self-defending. Exactly. It's the first place you go for. Went to the inner temple and saw it in the garden. Okay. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. How can we trust you? No, you stated yesterday that on the night of the murder you didn't go to the inner temple. Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? I was in the inner temple training hall. Private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell him the truth at that time. I mean, it's not just that. That's also in the record from Edgeworth's part of the trial the day before. It wasn't just a private conversation between the two of them. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit the murder. There, we all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden? Well, Your Honor, Mystic Elise struck Maya with her staff. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya, I mean Ms. Fay. Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse. I wonder if what she saw is true, and that it was actually Dahlia as Elise. Like Elise had been channeling Dahlia, and Dahlia tried to kill Maya. But I don't know, I can't see this still. You know? What were you doing at that time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock. That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. What a load of balooey. What happened after that? While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver the fatal strike. She moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon that she had to reach into her robe for? It was some kind of dagger. Really? Okay, we found the hole in this testimony. A dagger, huh? And Elise Doonim tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Ms. Fay? Yes, exactly. Ha! You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Ew. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris's testimony? Yes, I do. There is one thing. In true Columbo style, just one more thing. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? Surprise, surprise. But this witness is your own client. I have a problem with my client then. Well, yes. Nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Well, then say it! Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Oh. Damn. Mr. Godot here has, taken control. Okay, now let's continue. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger out of her robes. Let's press this new one. She threw her staff away. Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon. It's true, it's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. Have you tried? Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff. Yes, that's what I say. That's what I saw. I say I saw. Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yeah, it's fucking odd, alright. Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with a dagger. I'm sure of this. Let's just press the last statements and then we'll come back to that. That's the contradiction we need to break open this whole shit. Tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. And then Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike. Using all her years of martial arts training. Witness, are you absolutely certain? Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something... Maya Fey's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. I see. This is bad. Still can't put the pieces together unless I find a contradiction in her testimony. Maya's gonna get blamed for this. I only have this to say. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. So you're saying Maya Fey was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Dunham? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw? Yes. Objection! Objection! Right. Been waiting for that. If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. There we go. It's all gone. Now what? Oh, damn, he's showing off. Like this. I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. You know what? It's lucky as well, Freya. I do have water. Thank you very much. There's only one thing you need to get right. It's called evidence. Now hurry up before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Godot waiting for me to point out the contradictions? He probably is. This is a trap. He knows. I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this. Oh yeah, it would hurt the judge's brain. It really would. It'd give him brain damage. Okay, there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. So, the inner temple, Mystic Elise with the staff, Mystic Maya was stumbling and Mystic Elise moved in to deliver the fatal strike, pulled out a dagger from her robes. So, here's why this is bullshit. The staff is actually a sword. There's a hidden sword in the staff. Going good so far. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Miss Dunham throwing her staff away makes no sense to me at all. But all you can do with the staff is hit someone. Not this one. Naturally you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. Wrathful Monk with the host. Hey dude, how's it going? Good to see you, my friend. How's life? So as you can see, this is a sword. Ah! If Elise Dunham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Go check out Wrathful Monk, by the way, if you're not already following that guy. There's the link to his channel. Last playing Sea of Thieves? Oh, cool. 42, ask me about the rest in a day or so. Oh. Excellent. But yeah, it's Sea of Thieves, eh? Cool. Did you have fun with that? I have never played it. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? There it is. There's that next coffee. That was an impressive bit of investigating, Wright. I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff, so why is he smiling? But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose the dagger over her blade. I mean, it's not like she was fighting an already skilled opponent. If I'm in close with someone and they pull out a sword, I'm not going to think, ha, I've got the advantage here. I'm inside your guard. Because chances are I'm still going to get sliced up pretty bad. Fun to a point, sometimes you get lucky, but the community is full of cocks. Oh, really? That's one of the reasons I never checked the game out, is it looked like a game that you were just literally going to have to deal with people trying to grief you all day. As opposed to them trying to play the game objectives. They just want to sail around and fuck you up all day. Every stream I saw was somebody literally getting camped at the port. And it was like, okay, not my kind of game. But I mean, if you had some fun with it, that's cool. Maybe that's why she chose the dagger over the blade. Well... Anyways, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. Well, that's true, yeah, you gotta be a pirate, so that's... yeah. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about the whole testimony. Why would she try to kill her daughter? If you're camped at the ports, you spawn on a random island away from the port. Oh, you can do that. Okay. I mean, this was when the game first came out. There were people that were trying to literally get out of the port and they were just being camped in by someone in a galleon. And it was like, well, this looks like a barrel of fun. I guess they didn't know that then. Maybe they've added more features in to let people skip around griefers. You can spend hours not meeting people because it's a large map. Oh, okay. Again, it's had tons of updates since it first came out, so... I do like the look of the new one. They're adding ghost ships. Ghost fleets. Like, that looks pretty damn cool. Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. And they're adding a new ship as well that's supposed to be another small cruise ship, like 2 people maximum, but you could probably run it solo. That might be interesting, because that's been my other problem, is what do I do if I can't find people to play with? You know. And I don't like playing with randoms, so... bit of a problem there. Very well, Your Honour. The defence will now present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright? I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted, because Miss Elise Noonan would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. So I think we present the profile. Or would it be the amulet? I mean, no. That wouldn't explain anything straight away. We have to present the profile. Should join you for a play if I get it. I'll think about it, yeah, if I do grab it. I'm kind of still stuck not buying many games at the moment. Just trying to keep a lot of the money in reserve for Canada move. So, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Plus, there's a couple of games coming out I definitely am going to be checking out. So, whatever money I have for my game budget is reserved right now. On and off stream, no worries. Cool thing, yeah, I mean, if I do grab it, I'll definitely check with you guys. Absolutely, I'd love to sail with you and Harold, you know, and anyone else that comes along. That would probably be fun. Alright, let's try this. Because she's her mom, why would she kill her? Elise Noonan would never have attacked Maya Fey. Oh, how can you be sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Noonan. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey? Ah, no! Not Misty Fey. Did she not know? Oh, I thought she knew and she was hoping we didn't know. How would she not know? A week till Cards Against Humanity. Oh shit, Monk, yes. Oh dude, I'm sorry, I forgot to let you know I won't be able to play that day. Sorry that something came up. I meant to get in touch with you like a week and a half ago to tell you that, dude. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I'd play, but yeah. You know, thank you for reminding me, though. That could have been very weird. Thank you very much, though. But yep, I won't be playing that day, sadly. Guido, hello. You'll be gone for that day too. You're mad. You'll miss Cards Against Humanity. Oh, dude. Yeah, I was going to let you know a week and a half ago. I almost forgot. Damn. My brain is terrible sometimes. But let me know when you're bringing another one around. I'd definitely be up for it again. I have a lot of fun with that. It was good. Who is this Misty Faye? Is she related to Misty Faye is the master of the Korean channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Faye. Every 3 months? I'm in. Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Doonim actually the great mystic Misty? She didn't know. Holy cow. There's no doubt about it. That's your aunt. Looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try and kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years? Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented... Bam! One, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Oh, Godot's smiling. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing. It's gonna be coffee related, isn't it? Huh. You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Grandpa. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. Jesus. How does this dude not have a heart attack? I wonder if that's how he stays on the mortal plane, you know? Like his soul continues to persist just because of the fucking coffee. You're going to ruin your health, my friend. I mean, he was poisoned, so I think his health is thoroughly ruined, as in he died. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. He loves to investigate, he's not good at it. And he discovered this little beauty. He discovered a freaking dagger. Oh, gumshoe, you're the worst. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? How do we know Godot was poisoned? Because he told us. In the last stream, he confronted Phoenix about who he is. He said that he died once before, and it was poison. So yeah, he's undead. I mean, this is Diego. You know, this is the guy from the earlier stuff, right? So he already told us about that. Knew a guy in the service who drank 6 pots of coffee every day during the summer, more in the winter. Damn, pots of coffee? Like as in the large jugs that go under the filter coffee machines? He drank 6 of those? Wow! Dude must have the metabolism of a horse. What the hell? Obviously, Your Honor, but do you not notice something else? Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. How can Godot see that? He can't see red stuff. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? This dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of to the back of the pine tree. So she struck her so hard the thing flew out of her hand and lodged into the back of the pine tree? What kind of bullshit logic is that? Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? I swear to God, if he had said it's obviously sap from the pine tree, I would have been like, fuck off. 6 pots, he gave up smoking for caffeine. Yeah, sure, you know, like, those cigs are gonna kill you, you're right. I should probably, you know, just replace it with a potentially lethal dose of coffee every morning. Yikes. Huh, were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. He said 8th earlier. Yeah, there we go. The judge is incompetent, he really is. He's so influenceable, it's unbelievable. I didn't have enough time to get the blood analysed on such short notice. In any case, the course will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I ordered that the blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Cute girls never lie, ever. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. Damn. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff, but then she dodged Elisa's next attack and stole her weapon. Cute girls are never to be trusted. It's interesting he would say that as well, even though her sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, lied like a motherfucker in all the previous trials. Like, seriously. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. She was stabbed in the back. Isn't that even in the autopsy report? A stab in the back. And that would have been a forensically examined wound, so you know where the entry and exit point is by the shape of the cut. Iris admitted at the start that she'd do anything to protect the family, as if she's not going to lie through her teeth in any way she can. I mean, that's the thing, right? I think she's giving this as like a ditch attempt to save Maya. So she is kind of helping, but not. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But she must be either mistaken, or is she lying to protect Dahlia? Yeah, everybody is kung fu fighting. So this is bullshit. Obviously the autopsy restatement conflicts with that. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. Okay, now she's definitely lying. She's lying to try to protect the family. She's trying to protect the family with a lie. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. I mean, Elise knows who Maya is, at the very least, so she wouldn't need to recognize her as much, just know it's her daughter, because she would have been a baby when Maya left, because Maya's 19, she'd have been 2 years old. So yeah, she wouldn't recognize her daughter, but she'd hear the name Maya Fey and be like, my daughter. So, you know, but what would Maya's motive be for this? That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with cross-examinations. Oh yes, we will. Stumbled after being hit in the head with the staff. Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all of this? What do you mean? Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle. I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern. Yeah, but where were you standing? It's a tiny garden. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me. So it was dark in the garden where the murder took place. Tell me, what did Ms. Maya Fey do after she was struck? Dodged Elise's attack and stole her weapon. What happened to the victim's staff then? I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated. That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger. She would know where it is though, because apparently she said that she took everything back. She would have found the staff and taken it, so she would know where the staff ended up. That doesn't work for me. Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground, and then at some point Mystic Maya picked it up. Nothing sounds especially strange yet. What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her? Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. Right. I wonder if we press this statement. Present, sorry. You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim. Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger. I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point, it's just silly. There's another coffee. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. Not sure that's the saying. I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. You were the one who started it! Judge, he started it! So after Maya Fey backed the victim into a stone lantern, what happened next? That's when she stabbed her. I think that's the statement we have to present on then. Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw? Yes, I'm almost certain. Almost. The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who. What did she just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely. We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman on the that was killed was Elise Doonan. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I mean, yeah, if you believe this testimony. I don't have anything to counter that yet. Well then, witness, please continue. Yes, Your Honor. It's okay, Phoenix. You let your brain rest. I'll take it from here. The two of them faced each other for a moment, then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground. So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh? Yes. She managed to fling the knife away and then collapsed. Okay, so we'll have to come back to that statement and we will present the autopsy report, I think. Because she was stabbed not from the front, but from behind. Where did that dagger go to? I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see. According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck into the pine tree of the garden. Most likely it was flung towards the tree after the struggle. She had enough frigging strength after being stabbed to throw it and have it lodge itself into a tree. That is the most likely explanation, yes. After being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away? Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while, and Mystic Maya stood there, not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over. Seems like a reasonable story at first, but there's only one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone. That alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere. Yeah. That's the one. She stabbed her. I'm not even going to save it. I think my PC's running quite well today. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such careless mistakes. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? I know, it could overheat any minute, you never know. It's a good day for the computer, though. It's running nicely. Bless it. Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. Oh. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. Ah! What's the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Huh, it's simple. He's burning through that coffee as well. People are like butts. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff for fighting, for people fighting, being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach? There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. I wonder if that's true. Somebody Google that real quick. Tell me if that's true. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. You were really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself. The witness is quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. So you're basically saying that the fact that she's testifying about being stabbed in the stomach, but the fact that it was dark means she could have been stabbed in the back, still makes it credible. Well then, it was Maya, but it wasn't Maya, is also potentially credible, don't you think? A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? Yes, the opposite of dark. By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule on nights. When an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. That's interesting. I did wonder what the stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime it was impossible to light the stone lantern. Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There couldn't have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that was it. Most enlightening. Damn, wow, he's burning through these coffees. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. No, it hasn't. It just throws the entire testimony out the fucking window. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. Why we can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Wright? No! No! Order! Order! Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Did he just carry that around in his back pocket? Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. It was not lit the night of the crime. Why is the judge just sitting there with a look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. And again, Godot's going to be like, is there? I don't see anything. Because it's red. Yeah. He's like, huh? What? I love this gag. Oh, why is... It's written in blood. Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? What a handicap for a prosecutor to have to not be able to see bloodstains. It says Maya upside down. Or it says I am. Oh, what the? Oh, that's so good. Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing on that stone lantern behind her, but why did she write it upside down? I mean, I guess when you look down, it would go the right way up, right? But, I mean, come on. With the blood that was draining out of her body. It certainly looks that way. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are you all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood? Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the blood written at all? Now I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I can't see everything. So, that's what he meant by that. Yeah, he can't see anything red. He didn't see ketchup stains on the apron on the other case as well, when we were defending Maggie Bird. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message onto the lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then, let's move on. Just resetting his brain. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from the caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Doonan was killed by Maya Fey. What? No, it hasn't. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? What did you do? Let's hear it. For all ears. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I felt it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple myself. I dragged it behind me all the way to the Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to the Hazakura temple and... I used the Shitichito to alter the way the wound looked. So you moved the body? Yes. I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fey clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Doonan was actually Misty Fey. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for Twist of Fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but... You were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Also, the bridge was on fire, but she might not have known that. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. This is still not jiving. I don't know. This still seems so far-fetched. I do think that Bikini saw Iris with the body. Whether or not she was over there at the temple when this happened, though, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think she's spinning a lie about how the fight went down. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. Oh, hang on. I should be pressing these. What am I doing? So you waited until everything was over before making a move? No, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. We've noticed. Thank you, Judge. Isn't it your job as the judge to mediate the argument? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that I finally dawned on her what she had done. Thought it was her duty to protect the future master of the tradition. So then you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey. Yes, of course I did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Yeah, that's true, actually. But she knew about Elise Doonan being Misty Fey. It's interesting. Anyway, he was a very special person indeed. I removed the body from the inner temple myself. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You moved her body all by yourself? Yes, I did. I lift. She lifts, bro. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow, huh? Dragged it behind me all the way across the dusky bridge. It's pretty amazing you could make it all the way across that rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. Not when Phoenix tried to cross it, it wasn't. There was nothing sturdy about the damn thing. Looks like they say idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. I don't know, Phoenix managed to catch one. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? Could have just rolled it off the fucking cliff. That would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple. I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible. Pushing it into a fucking fast-flowing river would have carried it as far away as possible. I'm sorry, but it would. Makes perfect sense to me, for the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? Use the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple. The snowmobile? I knew it would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to the Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Okay, we'll do them both. We'll do the snowmobile first. Let me hear more about the snowmobile ride. Did you enjoy yourself? Was it fun? Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. I'm sorry, witness, but now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? Doe, what are you up to now? That night after the head nun left the remainder of your training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to the Hazakura Temple. Hi Louise, how are you? Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall her comments on the subject. Maybe, but when I made it back to the Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate, the snowmobile, I mean. That's right. So if she left Iris back over the other side of the temple, then came over here, and then all this shit happened, she couldn't have arrived on the snowmobile to get down there to begin with. Still casting doubt on whether Iris ever left the temple at all to go to the inner temple. I still don't think she did. Although she had to set that lock. Sorry. How are you both doing? Good? I hope. It was there by the main gate, that snowmobile, I mean. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Oh, this is weird. The prosecutor's actually picking out a contradiction. Usually my job. Order, Mr. Godot. Well, why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony? Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it. No, she did. You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Huh. Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just... you better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint? Very well then, let's continue the testimony. So you transported the body on the snowmobile all the way back to the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Yes, I thought that way Mystic Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyway. And then I used the shitty Cheeto to alter the way the wound looked. Oh, we should go back and do the other option as well, I forgot. Is this what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you? Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst. Probably? More like definitely. You got arrested for it. I see. So, Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one that murdered Ms. Doonin. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. You know what I don't get as well? Is the fall. This hasn't been accounted for yet. Body fell from 10 feet after death. Hasn't been accounted for in this testimony at all. It's my fault this case has gotten so confusing. It's everybody's fault, don't worry about it. I mean, Larry didn't fucking help things. Not in the least. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. Why would she do that? There's only one reason I can think of. She's loyal to family, but which family? Alright, let's go back to the other one. That was the one. Yeah, okay. Press, and we'll look at the other option. That might give us something to go with. The snowmobile, I knew it would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key, used the snowmobile to travel to the Dusty Bridge. Let's ask about the tracks. So this was all in dispute about the weather data, and we've got a picture of no tracks leading away, but tracks coming back. If you really did move her by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented yesterday's trial. These are the tracks. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. Are we going to bluff her? I don't see what's so strange about that. The snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple. Okay. The snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. Again, true. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about the testimony? That does all track, though. It was still snowing at 10 when she supposedly left. When the murder was committed, the snow had stopped after about 10 minutes. Okay, now it's getting tricky. Where's the weather data? Is that it? That's it. Because the light out bell was 10. That's when she said she went. Okay, though, if we go by this, we've been going on the murder time of being 11 o'clock because that's when Sister What's-Her-Name, Bikini, saw the murder. We can throw that out the window now and say this must have happened at least 10 minutes earlier, 15 maybe minutes earlier. Lightning struck the Dusky Bridge at 10:45 and it stopped at 10:50. She couldn't have brought her back across the bridge if the snow had stopped when this fight happened. The fight happened much earlier and it was still snowing for her to be able to bring it across. And if that's the case, then the snowmobile had to have been used after the bridge caught fire for the tracks to not be covered. So this is important. Maybe they'll add it to the testimony and we can press against it. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack up against all the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. But does it have something to do with the case? Well, obviously. All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Huh. This should be fun. There's that 10th cup. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Okay, so that... I added it right to the end then, okay. Let's press it again. There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened and the snow had already stopped, according to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right. I'm certain of it. Because here's the thing. Lightning struck the bridge at 10:45. The snow didn't stop until 5 minutes after that. And if she was already immediately, having brought the body across the bridge, dumped it onto the snowmobile, and then took a ride immediately back to the temple, she'd have been back there in 5 minutes by the time the snow had already stopped. And then she posed the body. We know that much happened. The body was being posed at close to 11 after the snow stopped because there was no snow on the body. But there was snow on the orb that we found close to the bridge, which may have come off the staff. Which means that the body was being moved before the bridge burned. But if she came immediately back, the tracks could have been covered over by the snow that was still falling for those last few minutes. So that snowmobile didn't make its way back until after the snow stopped, round about 10:50. So this is all wrong. I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh? What's going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in the story than that movie, The Grid Revelations. Is that a dig at the Matrix? Oh my god. I bet that's a dig at the Matrix movie. That did have a lot of plot holes. Oh, the third one was not good. Ah, well then, Mr. Tripe, perhaps you'd like to share this theory with us. Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your index finger. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. Alright, let's move through to the end. So, I guess we'd have to present the weather data to break this apart and just say, look, if the murder happened much before, if the snow had already stopped by the time the murder happened, then the bridge had been burning for 5 minutes and there's no way you could have come back across. What? Oh. Oh dear. Your Honor, that statement contradicts the evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory, huh? Really? Objection denied. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. Whoops, that didn't go so well. Okay, we're disputing that she couldn't have come back across the bridge, right? So maybe it's a different statement. Maybe it has to be a bit more direct than that. I mean, that would work as well in my opinion, but anyway. Removed the body from the temple myself, dragged it behind me across the bridge. And the fact that she now says the snow had stopped by the time the murder took place, but the bridge had been on fire for at least 5 minutes by then, so she couldn't have brought it across the bridge. But you know, I know my PC's starting to run a little warm. It's getting a little bit hot. We'll just save it in case it crashes. Yes! Okay, that's the one. I wasn't crazy. It's literally saying, snow, 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 snow. So, you know, weather data, weather data, weather data. The PC was doing so well. No, it's cooling down a bit again. That's just better to be safe. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred, but I'm sorry, Iris, that just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until around 10:50. But you couldn't have crossed the Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught fire. What did you say? The bridge was on fire? You don't mean to say you didn't know about that? Again, if she was over there in the courtyard, she'd have fucking known. It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? It can't be. Looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. Let alone an ace attorney. Oh yeah. Order! Order! Rah! The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge. Body or no body? Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Objection! Oh, damn. Cup 11 on the go. The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Calling that judge out, old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. It means everything in court. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth, isn't that right? So, it doesn't matter whether they lied, we have to find the truth. Well, if they're lying, that kind of matters when you're trying to find the truth, genius. Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Doonan was discovered in Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Doonan's body. He makes a good point on both accounts. That's right. I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. Why do I get the feeling we're coming around to the painting and her having flown across the bridge? I can't wait to find out what this is about. I hope that's where this is going. You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? Bruh. It's only human to err. I believe it's to err as human, but anyway. If you're so perfect, right, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burned down. But somehow the body travelled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? Not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. Looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest this lady's testimony isn't the truth. How does it even come? I mean, even if I were the judge, I'd be like, no, stop talking bollocks. Quite literally, she's lied multiple times. Alright then, witness, let's hear the testimony again. About what, Your Honour? You've admitted you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained rather large inconsistencies. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honour. This will be her final testimony? That needs to be the name of, like, the last of a Phoenix Wright game they make. The final testimony. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body, so I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there's a way to cross a burning bridge? I mean, Phoenix didn't find one anyway. So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of the Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. Damn, that was a wreck. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. And we know that only 3 of the 4 suspension wires were actually attached previously. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder. Right, I'm only going to say this one more time. It's only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. What about demons? The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place, I couldn't have crossed the bridge naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. The body did make it across somehow. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. You seemed to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped. This shit is so far-fetched you won't believe it. Oh god. I just hope there's, like, hidden in the tree line, they have a steam cannon. For, like, days when they hold a circus here every now and then, and she put it in there and fired it across the bridge. That would be like, are you fucking kidding? I can't wait for this. This is going to be great. I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong. That's it. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Yes. Called establishing a timeline. This is no joke. You're giving a sworn testimony in a court of law. Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today? Well, I naturally, I think I'd know, though, if I was giving testimony about a thing that happened, I'd know if it were raining or snowing at the point, because it would be hitting my face. I mean, if you just asked me, like, what was the weather doing, you know, yesterday, sorry, 5 days ago or whatever, just at random, then no, obviously not. But so the other day when you went to the shops, what was the weather doing? Oh, it was raining. I know, because I was standing out in the rain. You'd know that. You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it? But If it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. See, there you go. When you're asked to recall specifics, you can then kind of remember that kind of stuff. No one wants to hear your childhood traumas, right? Traumas? What? Danny? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Is that a hint? Are you saying there's another way to cross the burning bridge? Well, I don't see there could be a way across. Phoenix tried. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge? Did anyone actually witness such a thing? Oh, fucking hell. It is. Huh. If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. No. It is. This is a hint. The game is literally like, fucking present the picture. I know it, yeah. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. Come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. How do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all the evidence and see where that takes me. Gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. My shark impression. It's got to be on this statement. PC smells a bit funny though, so hang on. Is there literally nothing else? Let's have a look at this again. So one of the guide wires broke, the other two are there. So yeah, what Larry saw must have been from like underneath. That's really weird. That's how he drew that picture. Which means the body wasn't flying over it. If that picture is from the top, because if we look at the Hazakura Temple map, only 3 of the 4 guide wires are actually connected right now. So where's the other one? That's a good point. Maybe there just wasn't one there at all. I don't remember if there was ever a guide wire there to begin with. So he only drew 2 of them. Yeah, okay, so the other wire is there in this bridge. I can see it now. The little ones that are drooping down, there's 2 at the back and then there's 1 like all the way in the foreground on the left-hand side. So why didn't he draw that one in his picture? Oh, that's fucking Larry. I hate you, Larry. Why do you do this to me? Why do you give me this shit? He gives me his fucking shit to hold. Alright. Oh, fuck off. Alright, we're doing this. We're doing this.